Welcome to Royalty and Style, a platform dedicated to celebrating royalty, chieftaincy, and the rich tapestry of African history. Some of these stories may be familiar, I've heard it before. Others might be new, but each one is a powerful reminder of where we come from. Whether you are rooted in Africa or part of the diaspora, whether you are Ghana, Nigeria, Zimbabwe, South African, sit back, relax, and let's journey through history together. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. Let's keep this culture alive. Thank you. Now, let's talk about the warrior queens who defied empire. This segment is for top 5 queens who reigned when history needed them the most. Forget what you thought you knew of might, of scepter, clutch and trembling hand, of thrones that bowed to kings by right. Here is the top 5 queens who reigned when history needed them the most. These women rewrote the Asian plan. They rose not through permission granted, but by a fire the world denied. Their names like drums, unyielding, chanted. Their crowns were carved from battle cries. They faced the colonizer's storm with sharpened wheels and eagle's eye, walked through flame, defied the chain where history dared to write them small. Let the world remember, the throne once thought a man's domain was held by queens who would not kneel, and in their reign, the world was changed. These warrior queens didn't just break the rules, they wrote them. History books tried to erase them. Colonizers tried to silence them. But these queens, they led empires, waged war, and bent destiny to their will. Let's talk about these women who weren't just royalty, but also resistance. Before I dive in, let me have a cup of tea. Number 1 on my list, Queen Nzinga of Angola, who reigned between 1583 and 1663. The kingdoms of Ndongo and Matamba. He was regarded to as the Lioness of Angola. She was a warrior, a diplomat, and a legend. When colonial powers drew lines to Africa, they didn't expect her. Nzinga, born a princess, rose a queen who ruled like a storm in the world cast by the European conquest. He didn't just resist, she wrote the rules. When her brother faltered, she stood tall. When the Portuguese refused her a seat, she made a servant kneel and she sat anyway. They came for our land. She met them with fire on the battlefield, and in the negotiation tent, she allied, outwitted, and outlasted empire. Even when forced into exile, she forged a new kingdom, regarded to as Matamba, a safe haven for runaway slaves and rebels. She didn't live to see colonialism end, but her defiance lived on. A legacy proved that power doesn't always wear a crown, it becomes one. Queen Isinga is portrayed by the British Nigerian actress Adesua Oni in a critically acclaimed Netflix series, African Queen. I highly recommend you watching it. Number 2 on my list, Queen Yaa Asantewaa. Don't know if I pronounce this very well though, so my Ghanaian brothers and sisters, can you pronounce it very well for me in the comment section? Yeah, the Gold Coast, modern day Ghana. She ruled from 1840 to 1921. She said, if men can't fight, I will. She is a queen and a leader. In the heart of the Gold Coast, a queen was born who would forever change the course of history. Yaa Asantewaa, born in 1840, was no ordinary leader. She was a fearless warrior and an unyielding protector of her people. When British colonizers sought to seize the Ashanti Empire's sacred golden stool in 1900, they underestimated her. She led an army of thousands, fiercely defending the kingdom she loved. Despite being outnumbered and outgunned, our leadership sparked one of the most legendary uprisings in African history, the War of the Golden Stool. Her courage on the battlefield was unmatched, and her name became synonymous with resistance. Her legacy isn't just one of military might, it was a symbol of pride, unity, and unbreakable spirit for generations. Through her, the Ashanti people saw what it meant to stand tall in the face of oppression. Today, our name is honored not just as a warrior, but as a leader who showed the world the power of a determined woman in the face of colonial dominance. Number 3, Queen Amina of Zaza. Though her resistance wasn't with the colonial masters, she reigned in the 16th century in an empire called Zaza, now Zaria, present-day northern Nigeria. Amina was born into the royal family of Zaza, one of the original 7 Hausa cities. She was the granddaughter of King Sarakin Nohir and the daughter of Queen Bakwa Turunku, a ruler who helped consolidate power in the region. Amina took the throne after her brother's death and quickly proved herself as a fierce military leader. She led her armies on campaigns across vast areas of present-day Nigeria and neighboring territories, extending Zaza's influence and trade routes. According to oral histories, she commanded an army of around 20,000 soldiers and built protective walls known as Amina's walls around conquered city. Amina was a strategic leader, expanding trade and political power for Zaza. She brought wealth through control of trade routes, dealing in gold, salt, and kola nuts. Though some of her story is woven with legend, she remains a celebrated icon of female empowerment in African history. She is remembered in the Nigerian folklore, school curricula, and even featured in media like the Queen Amina film 2021 on Netflix. Number 4, Queen Indati, Yala, mobbed. She lived in early 19th century. Queen Indati Yala was regarded to as the lioness of Wallo in the present-day Senegal. In time when empires rose on the back of stolen lands, one queen refused to bow. The French were tightening their grip, but in the kingdom of Wallo, a queen with fire in her veins stood firm. Queen Indati Yala was a ruler, warrior, mother of a nation. She issued a defiant message to the colonial invaders: "We will not trade our freedom for your flags." She commanded armies, negotiated with kings, challenged colonial governors face to face. Her resistance was not just with weapons, it was with words, culture, and unbreakable pride. Though Wallo eventually fell, her name did not. Her spirit lived on in every uprising, every protest, every song of liberation. Today, she is more than a historical figure. She is a legacy of resistance, a symbol of sovereignty, a queen whose courage echoes through across generations. Number 5, Queen Poku of the Ivory Coast. She is regarded to as Queen of Sacrifice. The story of Queen Poku and the birth of a nation was at the edge of the Congo River, with her people behind her and enemies closing in. Queen Poku made a decision that would shape the nation. In the 18th century, Poku was the niece of the powerful Ashanti king. She chose the future of her people over politics, war, and even her own heart. She led her followers westward, away from conflict, into an unforgiving wilderness. This wasn't just an escape, it was the beginning of something greater. The journey was grueling. They went through mountains, forests, and fear gripped them. At last, they reached the Congo River, wild and impassable. The enemy was near. Desperation turned to prophecy. To cross, the spirit demands a great sacrifice. In that moment, Queen Poku did the unimaginable. Turned to her only child, whispered a final goodbye, and placed him in the rushing waters. The river calmed afterwards. Our people crossed. Though her heart was broken, our people were free. Legend says she wept so deeply that the words "Bauli," meaning the child is dead, that word echoed through the trees. From that grief was born a new identity, Bauli. And if you look at in the present day Ivory Coast, there is a tribe called the Bauli tribe. Very lovely people. Queen Poku never ruled from a golden throne again. Her power came not from wealth, but from sacrifice. Her legacy lives in the Baoli people, one of Cote d'Ivoire's largest ethnic group. Largest ethnic group. Her story is rooted in resilience, love, and the courage of the queen. Hi guys, I hope you find a takeaway or two from these stories I just shared with you. So stay tuned for the next episode, where I will be highlighting some African monarchs who were exiled in the colonial era. Thank you.